Welcome back to this session of the Hindu newspaper analysis for UPSC Civil Services examination. Today we will discuss mainly four issues. The first issue is related to Ramsar Convention and Ramsar sites in India. Second issue is related to impact of social media on youth and children. Third issue is related to India-Taliban relations. And fourth issue is related to Gram Sabha and Gram Panchayat. So let's discuss all the issues in detail. What is Ramsar Convention and what are Indian sites added to Ramsar list? Why news? Ramai Dondora Wetland Complex, two interconnected wetland in central Assam's Nagaon district will given Ramsar site tag. आसाम के रोमारी डोंडवा वेटलैंड कॉम्प्लेक्स को रामसार साइट टैग गिवन किया जाएगा और रामसार साइट इज अ वेटलैंड designated as one of the international importance under the Ramsar Convention, an intergovernmental treaty signed in Ramsar, Iran in 1971. Romari Dondwa Wetland Complex. The Romari Dondwa Wetland Complex is within the Lokho Wildlife Sanctuary, which is a part of Kaziranga Tiger Reserve. This complex has been recording more birds than only two Ramsar sites in northeast, number one Assam's Deeporville and Manipur's Loktak Lake. According to the 6th Kaziranga Wetland Census, 20,653 birds of 75 species were recorded at the Romari Wheel and 26,480 birds of 88 species were counted at Dondwa Wheel. A proposal has been submitted to make the Romari Dondwa Wetland Complex to a Ramsar site. What is Ramsar Convention? Ramsar Convention on Wetland is a global treaty for conserving wetland, protecting biodiversity, supporting livelihood, and combating climate change. रामसार कॉन्वेंशन ऑन वेटलैंड एक ग्लोबल ट्रीटी है सो दैट वेटलैंड को प्रोटेक्ट किया जा सके, बायोडाइवर्सिटी को प्रोटेक्ट किया जा सके, लाइवलीहुड को सपोर्ट किया जा सके एंड क्लाइमेट चेंज से कॉम्बैट किया जा सके. रामसार कॉन्वेंशन was adopted in Ramsar, Iran in 1971. Wetlands are vital ecosystems that support biodiversity, regulate water cycle, and help mitigate climate change impacts. The convention provides a global framework for identifying, designing, and managing wetland of international importance. The Ramsar Convention on Wetland is an intergovernmental treaty that sets the framework for both national action and international cooperation to conserve and ensure the wise use of wetland and their resources. One of its strengths lies in its broad and inclusive definition of wetland. Under Ramsar, wetlands are not limited to swamps and marshes alone, but extend to lake, rivers, underground aquifers, peatlands, oases, estuaries, deltas, tidal flats, mangroves, and coral reefs. अ, रामसार के अंडर वेटलैंड का जो डेफिनेशन है वो सिर्फ स्वेम्स एंड मार्सेस तक ही लिमिटेड नहीं है, बल्कि इसके अंदर लेक्स, रिवर्स, अंडरग्राउंड एक्वीफर्स, पीटलैंड्स, ओसिस, एस्चुरीज, डेल्टा, टाइडल फ्लड्स, मैंग्रोव एंड कोरल रीफ इसके अंदर इंक्लूड किए गए हैं. The definition even covers human-made ecosystems such as a rice field, reservoirs, salt pans, and fish pond, recognizing their ecological and livelihood importance. रामसार के अंडर वेटलैंड के डेफिनेशन के अंदर कुछ ह्यूमन मेड इकोसिस्टम्स को भी कवर किया गया है सच एज राइस फील्ड, रिजर्वर्स, सॉल्ट पेन्स, फिश पॉन्ड. The treaty came into force on December 21, 1975, marking a significant milestone in international environmental cooperation. Its initial focus was on protecting wetland as vital habitat for waterfowl, but over time the scope expanded to cover the broader ecological, economic, and cultural significance of wetland ecosystems. Today, with nearly 170 contracting parties, the Ramsar Convention stands as one of the most widely endorsed global agreements, reflecting its central role in biodiversity conservation and sustainable development. What are wetlands? Wetlands are areas where water covers the soil or is present either at or near the surface of soil all year for varying period of time during the year, including during the growing season. These are Earth's most productive and ecologically rich environment, serving as a hub for biodiversity that sustain many species of plant and animals. Wetlands provide essential ecosystem services critical to human survival, including fresh water supply, food, building material, flood control, groundwater recharge, and climate change mitigation. Today, wetlands face widespread degradation and conversion for other uses, threatening both biodiversity and human well-being. There is a need for the wise use, management, and conservation of wetland globally. Ramsar Convention on Wetland Objectives. Number of protection and management. Safeguard, restore, and ensure the wise use of wetland to maintain their ecology. Number two, international cooperation. Promote collaboration between countries, particularly for transboundary wetlands through sharing knowledge, resource, and best practices. Number three, biodiversity conservation. Protect wetland ecosystems as a vital habitat for aquatic life, waterfowl, and countless other species, ensuring the conservation of global biodiversity. Number four, climate regulation. Strengthen wetlands' role in carbon sequestration, flood control, and water cycle regulation to enhance resilience against climate change. Number five, public awareness. Promote education and understanding about the ecological, cultural, and economic importance of wetland for both people and nature. Ramsar Convention selection criteria. Number one, unique wetland. Site that represent rare or unique example of natural or near natural wetland ecosystem. Number two, biodiversity value. Wetland that survive threatened, endangered, or critically endangered species and serve as vital habitat for their survival. Number three, waterfowl population. Areas that regularly support large number of waterfowl, especially during migration, breeding, or wintering season. Number four, species life cycle support. Wetland that provide refuge or critical support for plant and animal species at sensitive stages of their life cycle. Number five, fish and aquatic life. Sites essential for sustaining fish population, including breeding, spawning, and nursery ground that support livelihood and ecosystems. Ramsar sites in India. As of October 2025, there are 94 Ramsar sites in India. Recently, Bihar added one more wetland in global list. Gogabil Lake in Katihar district of Bihar has got a tag of international importance as a Ramsar site. Two wetlands in Bihar, Gokul Jalansi in Buxar and Udaipur Jheel in West Champaran, have been designated as a Ramsar site in September 2025. Tamil Nadu have the highest number of Ramsar sites, about 20. In 2025, India added five new Ramsar sites. Number one, Gagabil Lake, Menar Wetland Complex, Kichan Wetland, Gokul Jalansi, Udaipur Jheel, bringing its total 94. Bihar has now six Ramsar sites, standing at third position in the country after Tamil Nadu and UP. India is at the top in Asia and third in the world after the UK and Mexico in terms of total number of Ramsar sites under a global convention. Total Ramsar sites in UK is highest. It means about 176, and Mexico has about 144 Ramsar sites. Globally, there are 2,546 Ramsar sites. Montreux record on Ramsar sites. The Montreux record is a register maintained under the Ramsar Convention, listing wetland site where the ecological character of wetland site has undergone, is undergoing, and or is likely to undergo change due to factors such as technological development, pollution, or other human interference. It serves as a monitoring tool to identify and prioritize sites that need urgent conservation attention. Currently, India has two wetlands included in the Montreux record. Number one, Loktak Lake, Manipur, Keoladio National Park, Rajasthan. These inclusions highlight the need for focused conservation measures to restore and maintain the ecological balance of these fragile ecosystems. What is social media's impact on children and youth? Lecture is important for prelims and for mains. Why news? India should plan to set a minimum age to use social media platform. Florida, US passed a law that prohibits people under 14 years old from having social media accounts regardless of parental consent. इंडिया को सोशल मीडिया प्लेटफॉर्म को यूज करने के लिए एक मिनिमम एज सेट करना चाहिए। यूएस के फ्लोरिडा स्टेट ने एक लॉ पास किया है जिसमें 14 ईयर्स से कम एज वाले चिल्ड्रन के लिए सोशल मीडिया का यूज प्रोहिबिट किया गया है। शुड चिल्ड्रन बी बेयर्ड फ्रॉम सोशल मीडिया? व्हाट इज सोशल मीडिया? Social media refer to digital technological platform that enable people to talk to each other, share information, and work together. सोशल मीडिया एक डिजिटल टेक्नोलॉजिकल प्लेटफॉर्म है जहाँ पर पीपल एक दूसरे से टॉक कर सकते हैं, इंफॉर्मेशन शेयर कर सकते हैं, टुगेदर वर्क कर सकते हैं। अकॉर्डिंग टू यूएन, young people's connectivity globally is 79%. It means 79% people use social media account. A recent survey by local circles indicate that urban India youngsters spend more time on the internet, which causes growing addiction to electronic gadgets among children aged 9 to 18 years. As per the annual status of education report, more than 90% teenagers use social media. एनुअल स्टेटस ऑफ एजुकेशन रिपोर्ट के अकॉर्डिंग इंडिया में 90% से ज़्यादा टीनेजर सोशल मीडिया यूज करते हैं। रीजंस फॉर द इंक्रीजिंग यूज ऑफ सोशल मीडिया अमंग चिल्ड्रन, चिल्ड्रन के अंदर सोशल मीडिया का यूज क्यों इंक्रीज हो रहा है? नंबर वन, ड्यू टू पीयर इन्फ्लुएंस। टू कनेक्ट विद पीयर, चिल्ड्रन ऑफन यूज सोशल मीडिया। The desire to fit in and be part of social circles motivate them to join popular platform where their friends are already active. Number two, due to educational opportunity. Some social media platforms often offer educational opportunity and content for learning. Children may use these platforms to participate in online learning communities, to access educational resources, and to connect with experts. Number three, parental permission and influence. In many cases, with the permission or encouragement of their parents, children gain access to social media. Number four, digital culture influence. As a digital age growing, children are drowning in digital culture. The prevalence of smartphones, tablets, and other connected devices make it easier for them to access social media, contributing to its increased use. Number five, entertainment and wide range of content. The platform offer a wide range of content, including videos, games, and interactive features. Children are drawn to the entertaining and engaging content available on these platforms. पॉजिटिव इम्पैक्ट ऑफ सोशल मीडिया ऑन चिल्ड्रन। चिल्ड्रन पर सोशल मीडिया का पॉजिटिव इम्पैक्ट क्या है? नंबर वन, हेल्प पीपल टू कम्युनिकेट। सोशल मीडिया हेल्प चिल्ड्रन टू कम्युनिकेट विद पीपल ऑफ सिमिलर इंटरेस्ट, helping build knowledge. Number two, develop critical thinking. Social media can help children to build critical thinking skill for future. Number three, helps to maintain relation. Social media help maintain relationship with relatives and friends who live far away. Number four, develop the art of learning. It helps individuals to develop and master the art of learning new things in life. Number five, created unprecedented opportunity. Social media and digital age have created unprecedented opportunity for children and young people to communicate, learn, socialize, and play, exposing them to new ideas and more diverse sources of information. Number six, solidarity and support. Sharing the story on social media may garner solidarity and support from the online community, which can be emotionally uplifting. Negative impact of social media on children. Number one, can create violent tendencies. Social media content can create violent tendencies among children. Children के अंदर social media content violent tendencies create कर सकता है. Involving the child in a social media dispute may have unintended psychological consequences, which causing additional stress and harm. Number two, promote cyberbullying. Young children, especially girls, easily become the victim of cyberbullying. Social media is the most probable source of this type of bullying. Number three, addiction of pornography. Pornography and social media have close link. Children's young mind can get easily addicted to pornographic material, affecting their academic life. Number four, can cause for mental instability. Children start living in a virtual world looking at social media content. This affects their future mental peace and stability. According to a recent study published by JAMA, means Journal of American Medical Association, revealed that teens who use social media more than 3 hours per day may have mental health problems. Number five, can affect a child's social life. Excessive social media use can affect a child's social life. Social media is not a substitute for physical socialization. Number six, hub for false information. Social media is a hub for false information. Children can be brainwashed easily through specific propaganda. According to a study of UNICEF, only 2% of children and young people have the critical literacy skill and they need to judge whether a news story is real or false. Number seven, negative impact on health. Social media addiction may promote problems related to aggression. concentration problems, memory issues, headache, eye and back discomfort, stress, communication difficulties, and even depression. Due to excessive use of social media, sleep pattern of children is affected. Number and financially dangerous due to illegal betting. Social media sites host various illegal betting pages. Children can potentially get addicted to such financially dangerous activities. चाइल्ड ऑनलाइन प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट इन इंडिया। इंडिया में चिल्ड्रन को ऑनलाइन प्रोटेक्शन गिवन करने के लिए कौन सा एक्ट है? सेक्शन 9 ऑफ द डिजिटल पर्सनल डाटा प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट डीपीडीपी एक्ट डील विद द प्रोसेसिंग ऑफ पर्सनल डाटा ऑफ चिल्ड्रन अंडर द एज ऑफ 18। द सेक्शन 9 places the following three conditions for processing children's personal data। डीपीडीपी एक्ट सेक्शन 9 के अंदर चिल्ड्रन जिनका एज 18 ईयर से कम है उनके पर्सनल डाटा को प्रोसेस करने के लिए कुछ कंडीशंस गिवन की गई हैं। नंबर 1, ऑब्टेनिंग वेरिफिएबल कंसेंट ऑफ पेरेंट। नंबर 2, प्रोसेसिंग ऑफ पर्सनल डाटा टू बी इन अलाइनमेंट विद द वेल बीइंग ऑफ अ चाइल्ड। नंबर 3, बैन ऑन ट्रैकिंग और बिहेवियरल मॉनिटरिंग ऑफ children or targeted advertising directed at children। International actions to protect young people online। ऑनलाइन यंग पीपल को प्रोटेक्ट करने के लिए इंटरनेशनल लेवल पर क्या क्या एक्शन टेकिंग किए गए हैं? नंबर 1, द चाइल्ड ऑनलाइन प्रोटेक्शन इनिशिएटिव इज अ मल्टी स्टेक होल्डर नेटवर्क लॉन्च्ड बाय द इंटरनेशनल टेलीकम्युनिकेशन यूनियन। Its aim is to promote awareness of child safety in the online world and to develop practical tools to assist industries, government, and educators। Number 2, initiative to end cyberbullying. The United Nations Children's Fund (UNICEF) has teamed up with social media platform to answer some of the most common questions about cyberbullying and give advice on ways to deal with it. UNICEF's Kindly initiative, which aims to end cyberbullying one message at a time. Number 3, We Protect Global Alliance Model. UNICEF support coordinated national responses to online child sexual exploitation in over about 20 countries. Using the We Protect Global Alliance model, strengthen the capacity to provide services to victims. Number 4, the United Nations Office on Drug and Crime for Human Trafficking UNODC support member states in their efforts to prevent and combat human trafficking, including through online safety activities and awareness aimed at children and young people. Number 5, Convention on the Right of the Child. Children's rights are enshrined in this convention. The UN Committee on the Right of the Child monitor implementation of the convention. Number 6, Internet for Trust Initiative. UNESCO is leading the global effort to develop regulatory solutions to improve the reliability of information on digital platforms when there are rising disinformation. This is PYQ related to this article. How are India-Taliban relations changing? Why news? Recently, Afghanistan foreign minister visited to India. This is his first official trip since the Taliban's return to power. Recently, अफगानिस्तान का फॉरेन मिनिस्टर ने इंडिया विजिट किया है। The visit marks a significant shift in India's foreign policy as New Delhi engaged with the Taliban despite not officially recognizing their government। इंडिया तालिबान के साथ इंगेज कर रहा है बट इंडिया ने ऑफिशियली तालिबान गवर्नमेंट को रिकॉग्नाइज नहीं गिवन किया है। India should focus Taliban's instance on women's rights and governance। India's early encounters with the Taliban are diplomatic dead end। 1999 IC 814 hijacking। India's first significant engagement with the Taliban occurred during the 1999 IC 814 hijacking, when then External Affairs Minister communicated with Taliban's Foreign Minister। इंडिया का पहली बार तालिबान के साथ एंगेजमेंट 1999 में IC 814 हाईजैकिंग के ड्यूरिंग हुआ था बिकॉज उस टाइम पर इंडिया के एक्सटर्नल अफेयर्स मिनिस्टर ने तालिबान फॉरेन मिनिस्टर के साथ कम्युनिकेट किया था इस हाईजैकिंग के रिस्पेक्ट में। However, India and Taliban led a real common ground as the Taliban remained deeply influenced by Pakistan, making any meaningful diplomatic connection difficult। India's cautious engagement with the Taliban. Strategy of cautious engagement. After the Taliban captured Kabul in 2021, India adopted a strategy of cautious engagement, choosing incremental diplomatic contact without granting formal recognition to the regime। इंडिया ने तालिबान के साथ कॉशस एंगेजमेंट स्ट्रेटजी फॉलो किया है। द फर्स्ट ऑफिशियल इंटरेक्शन occurred in 2021 when India's ambassador met with head of the Taliban's political office in Doha. The meeting, initiated at the Taliban's request, marked India's re-entry into Afghan policy. India's call for inclusivity. Soon after, India urged the Taliban to form an inclusive government that represented all ethnic groups and included women. इंडिया ने तालिबान से इंक्लूसिव गवर्नमेंट फॉर्म करने के लिए अर्ज किया जिसमें ऑल एथनिक ग्रुप एंड वुमेन का रिप्रेजेंटेशन होना चाहिए. ह्यूमैनिटेरियन आउटरीच एंड रीओपनिंग चैनल्स. In 2021, India sent 1.6 ton of essential medicines to Afghanistan, resuming humanitarian engagement. By 2022, India deepened ties with a visit by a delegation led by Ministry of External Affairs Joint Secretary. During the current visit, India decided to upgrade its technical mission to Kabul to an embassy. This marked the first official Indian presence since the Taliban takeover. Responding to human rights concern. In 2022, India publicly expressed concern over the Taliban's ban on women attending universities, reinforcing its stance on women's rights and inclusive government. 2022 में इंडिया ने पहली बार वुमेन के यूनिवर्सिटी अटेंड करने से रिलेटेड जो तालिबान का जो डिनाई वहाँ पर किया गया है उसके अगेंस्ट इंडिया ने अपने कंसर्न रेज किए. By the end of 2023, tensions resurfaced as the Afghan embassy in New Delhi ceased operations, citing a lack of support. Evolving regional diplomacy 2024-25. In January 2024, Taliban Foreign Minister hosted diplomats from 11 regional countries, including India, advocating a region-centric narrative for constructive engagement. The Taliban government condemned the Pahalgam terror attack, aligning with India's counter-terrorism concern, a subtle sign of growing diplomatic coordination. इंडिया और अफगानिस्तान के बिटवीन डिप्लोमेटिक कोऑर्डिनेशन ग्रो हो रहा है. ये इस बात से प्रूफ होता है कि तालिबान गवर्नमेंट ने पहलगाम टेरर अटैक जो कि इंडिया में हुआ है उसको कंडेम किया था. वाई इंडिया इज चूजिंग टू एंगेज विद तालिबान नाउ. प्रेजेंट में तालिबान के साथ इंडिया एंगेज क्यों कर रहा है? तालिबान लीडर्स हैव कंसिस्टेंटली प्रेज्ड इंडिया डेवलपमेंटल रोल इन अफगानिस्तान, contrasting it with the selfish motives of यूएस. अफ़गानिस्तान के डेवलपमेंट में इंडिया का जो रोल रहा है उसको तालिबान लीडर्स कंसिस्टेंटली प्रेज कर रहे हैं टू शो दैट तालिबान इज ईगर फॉर एंगेजमेंट एंड सीक इंडिया असिस्टेंस टू रिबिल्ड अफगानिस्तान इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर एंड इकोनॉमी, बैलेंसिंग डिप्लोमेसी विद प्रिंसिपल्स. India's outreach comes with moral and diplomatic dilemmas. While engagement aligned with strategic and security interests, it raised questions about India's stance on Taliban's regressive policies, especially regarding women's rights and freedoms. A changed geopolitical landscape. The regional power matrix has shifted dramatically since the Taliban's last rule. Pakistan, once the Taliban's key support, is not now a key partner. Iran is weakened by internal and economic challenges. Russia is embroiled in war. The US, under Donald Trump 2.0, has adopted a non-committal approach. Meanwhile, China has deepened its influence, becoming the first major power to exchange ambassadors with the Taliban. This evolving scenario has opened strategic space for India, pushing India to recalibrate its Afghanistan policy. Strategic imperative for India. India fears that non-engagement would erode its decade-long investment in Afghanistan in infrastructure, education, and connectivity projects and diminish its regional security leverage. Given Afghanistan's proximity and potential to influence India's internal security and trade route, maintaining direct communication with Kabul has become essential. Unlike in the 1990s, the Taliban now face no internal political opposition within Afghanistan. The Pakistan factor in India-Taliban relations. The deteriorating relationship between the Taliban and Pakistan has created new opportunities for India's engagement with Kabul. Because present में तालिबान एंड पाकिस्तान के रिलेशनशिप डिटोरेट हो रहे हैं, इसने इंडिया के लिए न्यू अपॉर्चुनिटीज क्रिएट की हैं. एज पाकिस्तान डिपोर्ट थाउजेंड ऑफ अफगान रिफ्यूजीज, इंडिया हैज स्टेप्ड in to provide humanitarian and logistical support for Afghanistan. India had delivered extensive relief shipment to Afghanistan, including 50,000 metric ton of wheat, 300 ton of medicines, 27 ton of earthquake relief material, 40,000 liter of pesticides, 100 million polio doses, 1.5 million COVID-19 vaccine doses, 11,000 hygiene kits for drug de-addiction program. India and Afghanistan have also discussed strengthening sports cooperation, particularly in cricket, which enjoy massive popularity among Afghan youth. India and Afghanistan agreed to enhance trade through Iran's Chabahar port, facilitate commercial exchange and humanitarian shipment, and reinforcing India's strategic role in regional connectivity. What is Taliban's why? What is Taliban seek from India? Requested India to issue visa. तालिबान की इंडिया से क्या क्या डिमांड है? नंबर वन, requested India to issue visa. The Taliban government had requested India to issue visa for Afghan businessmen, patients, and students, aiming to restore people-to-people ties disrupted since the regime change. India's concern, however, this demand faced challenges as India does not officially recognize the Taliban, has security concerns regarding visa applications, and currently lack functional consulate or a visa office in Afghanistan. India also want to give support. Despite these limitations, India has expressed a willingness to continue and expand developmental projects across all 34 Afghan provinces. India is signaling a pragmatic approach focused on reconstruction and long-term engagement rather than formal recognition. What is Gram Sabha and Gram Panchayat? The 73rd Amendment to the Constitution, passed in 1992, is one of the landmarks in India's journey as establishing the Panchayati Raj system. 1992 में कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन का 73rd अमेंडमेंट किया गया। इसके अंडर पंचायत राज इंस्टीट्यूशंस एस्टेब्लिश किए गए इंडिया में। However, the momentum towards deepening local governance in India has stalled. Big shifts in both technology and society are threatening to make panchayat irrelevant. टेक्नोलॉजी एंड सोसाइटी के अंदर बिग शिफ्ट हुए हैं जिसने पंचायत को इरिलेवेंट करने में अपना एक इम्पोर्टेंट रोल प्ले किया है। The 73rd Amendment initiated the process of institutionalizing decentralization in rural India. The three-tier system at the village, block, and district level, with a regular cycle of local elections and 50% reservation for women, SC, ST, kicked off a movement that took democracy to grassroots level. पंचायती राज इंस्टीट्यूशन के अंदर थ्री टायर सिस्टम होता है, विलेज लेवल पर, ब्लॉक लेवल पर, डिस्ट्रिक्ट लेवल पर रेगुलर इनके इलेक्शंस किए जाते हैं। इलेक्शंस में 50% रिजर्वेशन गिवन किया जाता है वुमेन, SC, ST के लिए, और इन सभी एक्टिविटीज के थ्रू डेमोक्रेसी को ग्रास रूट लेवल पर इस्टेब्लिश किया गया है। व्हाट इज ग्राम सभा? आर्टिकल 243 बी डिफाइन द ग्राम सभा as Gram Sabha is the general assembly consisting of persons registered in the electoral roll of a village within the jurisdiction of village level पंचायत। आर्टिकल 243 बी के अंदर ग्राम सभा को डिफाइन किया गया है, किसी भी विलेज के अंदर रजिस्टर्ड वोटर के द्वारा कंसिस्ट किया गया जितना भी पॉपुलेशन है वो ग्राम सभा का पार्ट होता है। इट मीन ग्राम सभा एक जनरल असेंबली है जिसके अंदर विलेज के सभी रजिस्टर्ड वोटर इंक्लूड होते हैं। ग्राम सभा इज a crucial part of the Panchayat Raj system in India, designed to promote direct democracy at the grassroots level. It providing a platform for community-based governance. The Panchayat, the village executive body, implement a developmental plan and initiative with all decisions subject to Gram Sabha approval, ensuring transparency and inclusivity. Active Gram Sabha participation foster accountability and allow citizens to engage directly in governance and public welfare decisions. The Gram Sabha oversee and approve the Gram Panchayat's budget, audit, and development plan, promoting transparency, accountability, and community welfare while empowering villagers in decision-making process. Gram Sabha constitutional provisions. Article 243b in Part 9. The Gram Sabha, defined under Article 243b in Part 9 of the Indian Constitution, is the cornerstone of the Panchayat Raj system, enabling participatory democracy at the grassroots. Key provisions of Gram Sabha as follows. Definition. Article 243B defines the Gram Sabha as a body of registered voters in a village under Panchayat's jurisdiction. Inclusivity. Unlike elected bodies like Gram Panchayat or Jila Parishad, the Gram Sabha directly comprises all eligible voters. Legal framework. It was introduced through the 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act 1992, which institutionalized participatory governance. Role of Gram Sabha. Act as a permanent body to discuss and decide on village governance, resource management, and developmental plans. Democratic shift. Represent a transition from representative democracy to participatory democracy, empowering citizens directly in decision-making process. Gram Sabha composition. Gram Sabha is organized by the Panchayat Secretary in coordination with the Sarpanch. This is the head of the Panchayat and is responsible for its overall functioning. सरपंच जो होता है वो पंचायत का हेड होता है और ओवरऑल फंक्शनिंग के रिस्पॉन्सिबल होता है. A meeting must be convened by sarpanch if at least 10% of members or 50 members request it. ग्राम सभा के 10% और 50 मेंबर्स अगर रिक्वेस्ट करते हैं देन सरपंच को मीटिंग कॉन्वेन करना होगा. मेंबर्स मस्ट इन्फॉर्म द सरपंच ऑफ द मीटिंग्स पर्पस एंड सबमिट अ फॉर्मल रिक्वेस्ट एट लीस्ट 5 days before meeting. If the sarpanch fail to organize the meeting, members can independently proceed. Gram Sabha functions. Number one, planning and development. Approve village developmental plan and monitor resources. Number two, budget and financial oversight. Review and approve the budget, audit and fund allocation, including selecting beneficiaries for welfare program. Number three, resource management. Oversees natural resources and public infrastructure like roads, wells, and sanitation. Number four, forest right. Define individual and community forest right under relevant law. Number five, community welfare. Gram Sabha remote social initiatives promotes. Gram Sabha promotes social initiatives, raise awareness, and address social challenges. Number six, support for vulnerable group. Maintain vital record, assist government surveys, and support disadvantaged communities. Number seven, accountability. Monitor the Gram Panchayat, ensuring transparency and efficiency. Number eight, dispute resolution. Gram Sabha addresses minor disputes and grievances. Number nine, welfare programs. Ensure fair implementation of government schemes. What is the significance of Gram Sabha? Number one, promote participatory democracy. Gram Sabha enable villagers to directly participate in decision making and governance at the grassroots level. Number two, ensure transparency. Review and approve the Gram Panchayat budget and audit report, ensuring financial transparency. Number three, empower community. Gram Sabha provide a platform for uh, voicing concern, address local issues, and ensuring community welfare. Number four, check accountability. Monitor the work of the Gram Panchayat, holding it accountable for its actions and resources. Number five, strengthen local governance. Foster a decentralized approach to governance, enhancing self-governance and local development. Number six, dispute resolution. Gram Sabha play a role in resolving minor local dispute and conflicts. Number seven, social inclusion. Give all eligible voter an equal voice in decision making, promoting social inclusion and unity. What is the difference between Gram Sabha and Gram Panchayat? Gram Sabha include all village voters for direct governance, while the Gram Panchayat is the village executive body. ग्राम सभा के अंदर विलेज के ऑल वोटर इंक्लूड होते हैं, जबकि ग्राम पंचायत के अंदर विलेज की एग्जीक्यूटिव बॉडी इंक्लूड होती है. द 73rd अमेंडमेंट empower पंचायत राज institutions for self governance under article 40. The following are the key difference between gram sabha and gram panchayat. Number one, on the basis of term and structure. Gram Sabha. Gram Sabha is a permanent body that consists of all registered voters in the village. Members of the Gram Sabha are not elected. Gram Panchayat. Gram Panchayat is a temporary body as its members are elected for a 5 year. It includes a ward member and the sarpanch, and its members are directly elected by the Gram Sabha. On the basis of meeting frequency, Gram Sabha meetings are convened as needed at least twice in a year. Gram Panchayat hold a regular meeting. Decision making. The decision of Gram Sabha are final and can only be altered by the Gram Sabha itself. Decision by the Gram Panchayat can be guided by the Gram Sabha. Function. Gram Sabha oversee and approve the annual budget and audit report of the Gram Panchayat. Gram Panchayat is the executive body responsible for implementing village development. Challenges before Gram Sabha. Number one, irregular meeting. Meeting of the Gram Sabha are not conducted regularly, limiting their effectiveness. Meetings are held only to formal requirement. Number two, lack of participation of women. The low attendance of women in Gram Sabha meeting limits their effective representation in panchayats. Number three, challenges in decision implementation. Decisions made during Gram Sabha meeting are often ignored or disregarded by local authorities, resulting in a lack of implementation. Number four, lacking awareness. There is a significant lack of awareness among the general public as well as panchayat members, sarpanch, pradhan about the power and responsibility of the Gram Sabha. Number five, lack of formal recognition. Except for a few, most state government do not grant formal recognition to the Gram Sabha in their legislation, leaving it only as a consultative and advisory body. Number six, ambiguity in the role and functions. Many acts fail to clearly define the role of Gram Sabha or establish procedures and penalties for its functioning, as noted in the Mani Shankar Iyer Committee report.